The lecture hall fell silent as Commander Rattel entered, her forearms carrying a reinforced containment crate. The Veltharian instructor's scales shimmered under the artificial lighting, betraying her usually calm demeanor with flickers of amber concern. Behind her, 2 security officers flanked the entrance, their plasma staffs humming at low charge. "Today," Rattel announced, her translator converting her clicking mandibles into galactic standard, "you will witness why xenobiology requires more than textbook knowledge. You will observe Karvoth cubs, apex predators from Theta Morgana IV." A collective rustle swept through the assembled cadets. 73 beings from 42 species shifted nervously in their seats. Everyone knew about Karvoth predators. They were the reason Theta Morgana IV remained quarantined. They were the reason 3 colonial expeditions had vanished without trace. Cadet Mira Thorne sat in the back row, her standard-issue datapad balanced on her knee. She was the only human in advanced xenobiology, one of only 12 humans in the entire Galactic Defense Academy. Her presence still drew curious glances, though fewer than during her first semester. Humanity had only joined the Galactic Coalition 8 years ago, and humans remained something of a curiosity. Too aggressive for prey species, too fragile for predator classification, too stubborn to fit neatly into anyone's taxonomy. Rattel opened the crate with practiced caution. 2 creatures tumbled out, each roughly the size of a terrestrial wolf cub but covered in obsidian black chitin plates. Their 6 legs ended in retractable claws that clicked against the floor. Multiple eyes, 8 per cub, swiveled independently, taking in the lecture hall with predatory awareness. Rows of crystalline teeth glinted when they yawned, and a low-frequency rumble emanated from their thoraxes, a sound designed to paralyze prey through resonance fear. The nearest cadets scrambled backward. A Delphian student's breathing apparatus whistled in panic. Even the security officers tightened their grips on their weapons. "Remain calm," Rattel commanded. "They are juveniles recently fed and their venom sacs are not yet developed. This exercise demonstrates recognition patterns in apex predators. Observe how they assess threats and establish—" She stopped mid-sentence. Both cubs had oriented toward the back of the room, toward Mira. The human cadet looked up from her datapad, meeting multiple sets of gleaming eyes. She didn't move, didn't flinch. Years of evolution had written predator recognition into human DNA, but humans had evolved as persistence hunters themselves, predators who understood predators. "Fascinating," Rattel whispered. "They've detected something." The cubs moved as one, flowing through the lecture hall with fluid grace. Cadets pressed themselves against walls, desks, anything to create distance. A Krillian student actually climbed onto his seat, his exoskeleton rattling, but the cubs paid them no attention. They navigated the rows with singular focus, their resonance rumble increasing in frequency. Mira slowly closed her datapad. She remained seated, her posture relaxed but ready, her heartbeat elevated but controlled. She'd grown up on frontier colony ships where humanity pushed into contested space, where meeting unknown species was routine, where fear meant death and composure meant survival. The first cub reached her desk. It rose on its hind legs, bringing its face level with hers. 8 eyes studied her with intelligence that transcended instinct. Its mandibles opened, revealing those crystalline teeth, and that terrible rumble became almost questioning. Mira did something that made Commander Rattel's scales flash brilliant orange in alarm. She extended her hand. "Easy," Mira murmured, her voice low and steady. "I see you too, little one." The cub's rumble changed pitch, becoming something almost melodic. It pressed its chitinous head against her palm. The second cub scaled her chair, draping itself across her shoulders like a deadly armored scarf. Its multiple legs wrapped gently around her torso, claws carefully retracted. The lecture hall erupted in shocked chittering, clicking, and various species-specific sounds of disbelief. Rattel approached slowly, her translator working overtime. "Cadet Thorne, do not move. This behavior is unprecedented. Karvoth predators are solitary even as juveniles. They do not seek physical contact with any species, including their own kind, outside of mating season, and they certainly do not approach potential prey with anything resembling affection." "They don't think I'm prey," Mira said quietly, scratching behind the first cub's auditory ridge. It leaned into her touch, the rumble becoming something unmistakably pleased. "They recognize me as something else. Explain. Ratel's scientific curiosity had overcome her concern. Mira considered her words carefully. Most species in the coalition evolved along clear lines: prey or predator, herbivore or carnivore. Humans didn't. We're omnivores who climbed to the top through adaptability. We hunted, but we were also hunted. We have forward-facing eyes like predators, but we formed communities like prey. We're aggressive but social, territorial but cooperative. She looked down at the cub in her lap, now purring, actually purring, under her ministrations. Maybe they sense that duality. Maybe they recognize us as kindred spirits. A Felthian cadet, reptilian and herbivorous, spoke up nervously. But humans are so soft, so slow. How can apex predators see you as equals? Mira smiled, and something in that expression made several cadets uncomfortable. Because we didn't evolve to overpower our prey. We evolved to outlast them, to outthink them, to chase them until they collapsed from exhaustion, then walk up and finish the job. We're endurance predators with tool-using intelligence. We turned from hunted to hunters not through strength, but through sheer stubborn refusal to give up. The second cub chirped, an oddly cheerful sound from such a deadly creature, and nuzzled against her neck. Commander Ratel's scales had shifted to deep purple, the Veltharian expression of profound contemplation. I have studied predator behavioral patterns for 37 standard years. I have never witnessed this. The cubs should view all other species as either threat or prey. Instead, they have chosen companionship with the one species present that shares their fundamental nature. Beings who hunt, who persist, who dominate through determination rather than raw power. She turned to address the class, her voice carrying new respect. This is why humanity puzzles the Galactic Coalition. They are not the strongest, not the fastest, not the most advanced, but they possess something that perhaps even apex predators recognize instinctively: the absolutely terrifying refusal to accept defeat. The determination to survive, to adapt, to overcome regardless of odds. Mira continued stroking the cubs, both now settled contentedly around her, their rumbles synchronized in peaceful harmony. She thought about Earth, about humanity's bloody climb to sentience, about every predator their ancestors had faced and outlasted, about every environment they'd conquered not through superiority, but through adaptability and sheer bloody-minded persistence. Yeah, she said softly, meeting Ratel's eyes. I guess they recognize their own. The lecture continued, but every cadet left that day with a new understanding. Humanity might be physically unremarkable in the vast catalog of galactic species, but there was something in the human spirit, that peculiar combination of predator's cunning and pack loyalty, of individual determination and collective strength, that even the galaxy's most deadly creatures instinctively acknowledged. As for the cubs, they had to be gently coaxed away from Mira at class's end. They protested with mournful rumbles, only settling when she promised to visit them in the xenobiology labs. Commander Ratel filed a report that evening that would ripple through Coalition Command. Recommend reassessment of humanity's threat classification. They may be more dangerous than previously calculated, not because they are predators, but because they are predators who evolved to become something more. And in her quarters, Mira Thorne smiled, remembering the weight of deadly creatures seeking comfort in her presence, and understood more deeply than ever what it meant to be human in a galaxy, still learning that humanity defied all comfortable categories.